Biggest shame I've ever experienced. Skip Bayless blasts Tom Brady over 2025 draft snub. Skip Bayless has never been shy about expressing his opinions, but his latest tirade may go down as one of his most emotional rants yet. Following the conclusion of the 2025 NFL Draft, Bayless took direct aim at seven-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady, calling out the future Hall of Famer for what he considered a shocking and unacceptable oversight. Brady, in his first year as a front office executive helping guide draft decisions, passed over a quarterback prospect Bayless believes could have changed the franchise's future. The snub, according to Skip, represented the biggest shame he has ever experienced in all his years covering professional football. Brady's new role and the draft spotlight. When Brady transitioned from legendary quarterback to decision-maker, fans and analysts alike wondered how his football genius would translate to the boardroom. As part of his new executive role, Brady was tasked with scouting, evaluating, and ultimately signing off on personnel decisions for his franchise. The 2025 draft was supposed to be his chance to prove himself as not just a player but as a talent evaluator. Bayless, however, believes Brady failed his very first test. While the team addressed needs on defense and added some depth on the offensive line, they overlooked the quarterback position. To Bayless, this was not just a mistake but a disaster in the making. The quarterback prospect that sparked the debate. Though Bayless did not hesitate to criticize Brady in sweeping terms, his anger centered on one specific prospect, a dynamic college quarterback who slid further than expected on draft day. Bayless argued that this young passer had all the tools, arm strength, athleticism, leadership qualities, that could make him a star in the league. Instead of seizing the opportunity, Brady and his staff chose to pass, allowing a rival team to scoop him up in the later rounds. On his show, Bayless didn't hold back. Tom Brady, of all people, should know the value of taking a chance on a quarterback who doesn't fit the cookie-cutter mold. He was the 199th pick himself. And yet, here he is, making the same kind of mistake that almost kept him from ever getting his shot. It's shameful. Truly the biggest shame I've ever experienced in all my years of covering this game. The irony that stings. Bayless highlighted the irony of the situation repeatedly. Brady, the ultimate underdog story, famously turned a sixth-round draft selection into the greatest career in football history. To Bayless, the fact that Brady refused to roll the dice on a quarterback prospect with similar prove-it qualities felt like betrayal. This was Tom Brady's chance to pay it forward, Bayless said, to give another young man the same shot that changed his own life. Instead, he slammed the door shut. Reactions from around the league. Bayless' criticism quickly went viral, drawing mixed reactions across the football world. Some analysts agreed that Brady's front office had mishandled the draft, noting that the team's quarterback situation remains unsettled and vulnerable. Others defended Brady, pointing out that his staff focused on immediate needs rather than luxury picks, and that the rookie QB in question was far from a consensus first-round talent. Even so, Bayless' words carried weight because of his history of holding Brady in high regard. For decades, he positioned himself as one of Brady's staunchest defenders, often calling him the GOAT and lauding his competitiveness. That's what made his rant sting even more. Bayless was not just criticizing a football executive, he was lashing out at someone he had previously idolized. What this means for Brady's legacy off the field. While Brady's legacy on the field is untouchable, his transition to the executive suite is still in its infancy. Bayless' criticisms underscore the difficulty of going from player to decision-maker. Football brilliance does not always translate to scouting acumen. Passing on one quarterback won't define Brady's front office career, but moments like this are magnified precisely because of who he is. For Brady, the pressure will only intensify. If the rookie quarterback Bayless advocated for blossoms into a star elsewhere, the decision will haunt him for years and give critics fuel to question his judgment. If the player struggles, Brady's cautious approach will look justified. Either way, Bayless has already planted the seed of doubt in the public's mind. Skip Bayless' emotional investment. Part of what made this rant resonate was the raw emotion behind it. Bayless didn't just frame the snub as a miscalculation, he personalized it. "I've watched this game for decades," he said, "and I've seen young men lose their shot because no one believed in them. I thought Tom Brady, of all people, would understand that pain. Instead, he inflicted it. And I can't forgive that." That emotional weight gives Bayless' rant more than just shock value. It taps into the broader conversation about opportunity in professional sports, the way certain players slip through the cracks, and how decision-makers can either change a life or derail a dream. Looking ahead. For the team Brady now helps run, the focus will inevitably shift back to the field. Wins and losses will determine how quickly fans forget or cling to Bayless' words. If the roster Brady built finds success, the criticism will fade. If not, every questionable decision, including this draft snub, will resurface. As for Bayless, this episode adds another fiery chapter to his long career as one of sports media's most polarizing voices. Love him or hate him, his critiques cut deep because they often echo the frustrations fans themselves feel. And in this case, his disappointment in Brady hit especially hard because of their long, intertwined history in the media narrative. Final thoughts. The 2025 NFL Draft was supposed to be Tom Brady's debut as a front office decision-maker, a moment to showcase his football mind from a new perspective. Instead, it has become a lightning rod for criticism, thanks to Skip Bayless' explosive commentary. Whether Brady truly blundered by passing on the quarterback prospect or made a calculated choice, only time will tell. For Bayless, though, the verdict is already in. He considers it the biggest shame he's ever experienced, a scar on Brady's otherwise flawless football resume. The irony of the underdog who refused to believe in another underdog will linger, at least in the world of sports talk. And as the rookie quarterback Bayless championed begins his own NFL journey, the shadow of Brady's decision and Bayless' wrath will loom large over both their careers.